What exactly is your noise floor? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. And the short answer is that noise floor is the sound of your recording space when nothing is happening. In other words, when you're not talking. It's the ambient sound of your room. It's what is in the environment that is being picked up by the microphone. A lot of voice actors think that their microphone is the problem, and actually it is the environment that may be causing you issues. So in this video, I want to show you what noise floor actually is, how to check your noise floor and make sure that you're in the right range. Also, how to clean up your noise floor if it's over that range so that you can have a more clean and polished sounding delivery in your audio quality. But there is one big mistake that a lot of, especially new voice actors, make when they're trying to fix their noise floor, and it could be making it worse. And so we'll cover that as well. So let's start with ways to check what your noise floor actually is. Now, there's many more technical ways to do this, but I'm just going to give you the cleanest, simplest way to do this. Open up your DAW. Make sure that your door is shut on your recording space. Make sure that everything is the way it's going to be when you're doing your recording. You open your DAW, hit record, and hold your breath for maybe 10 to 15 seconds, and just let it record your space. Next, what I want you to do is highlight part of that space that you recorded and hit play. And watch your level meter on your DAW, watch where it's bouncing. The kind of agreed upon goal of your noise floor should be minus 60 decibels. You want to be at least right there or preferably below that number for your noise floor. Now, if you're a little above that number, don't panic because you can fix that. And I'm going to cover a couple of ways to do that. But if you're quite a bit over that number, in other words, you have a much louder sound in your space, then you may need to go back to the drawing board a little bit on the space itself. And if we haven't met yet, my name's Mike. I'm a full-time professional voice actor, and I run the VoiceOver Blueprint training program and the YouTube channel here, where our goal is to give you free, actionable insights and tips to grow and maintain your professional voice acting business. And every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I host a free webinar where you can learn everything you need to know about getting into voice acting. I cover the steps to get started in VO. I cover some mistakes that you could possibly make to hurt your career. We have a Q&A session that lets you answer or ask any questions you have right there on the call. Plus, just as a bonus for showing up, I'll throw in a copy of my book, The VoiceOver Blueprint, which is a step-by-step guide to VO. So if you haven't signed up yet for that, down in the description and pinned comment below, just sign up for absolutely nothing, and I'll see you there. Okay, a lot of people think that a very expensive microphone is going to help in the noise floor area and improve your audio quality. And actually, the reverse is true. If you put a $1,000 microphone into a space that's not treated well, it's actually going to sound even worse. And the reason why is that these high-priced, expensive microphones are very, very sensitive. So your space has to be much more dialed in for those kinds of microphones versus maybe a beginner to intermediate level microphone. And that big mistake I mentioned earlier is that a lot of, especially newer voice actors, they over-process their audio and make it sound very kind of artificial and phasey and kind of underwater sounding. They apply all these effects trying to get rid of their noise floor, and it just ends up making their recordings even worse. When it comes to audio, less is more in most cases. Once again, you want to really focus on your recording space versus your microphone and your processing. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that noise floor is just the sound of your room, right? Well, what is in the sound, or what can cause sound in your room? We've got air conditioning units, we've got, neighbors outside, dogs barking, electrical interference and cabling, and there's lots of different things that go into the background noise of your recordings. So if you have a noise floor that is, above that minus 60 and well above it, then your first step should be to not upgrade your microphone, but upgrade your recording space. That means adding blankets or acoustic panels or tightening up the seams of your booth. All of those things can lead to extraneous air and therefore noise getting into your recording space. The next thing is your gain on your microphone. Some microphones have the gain knob right on them. Some of those are kind of the lower end, USB mics. Others, the gain is on your interface. And you want to make sure that your gain is not turned up too much because when you turn up your gain, not only are you turning up your volume of your voice, but you're also turning up the volume of your space. There is kind of a sweet spot that you want to be on your gain when you're adjusting it. As you're recording in your DAW, look at the meter, and you want to be peaking at your normal speaking voice at about -9 to -12 dB. That's the sweet spot for your normal speaking voice. Now, obviously, if you're going to raise your voice, you want to turn the gain down a little bit. If you're going to be whispering, you want to turn the gain up a little bit. But most of the time, you're going to keep your gain in that kind of sweet spot that I mentioned earlier. Okay, now I want to talk about another way to fix your noise floor beyond fixing your space and adjusting your gain, and that is plugins. First and foremost, plugins, you should think of plugins as kind of a cleanup tool, not a miracle worker. Most of the DAWs out there have a built-in setting that is, something like denoise, and that's what I use in Adobe Audition. But there are other third-party plugins that you can use, like Waves NS1 or Isotope RX16, I believe is the newest one, where it will go in and it will magically remove some of that background noise. But just like I mentioned earlier, less is more. You can definitely overuse those plugins. So they're very useful to clean up a little bit, but you don't want to try to use them to clean up a lot of background noise or noise floor. So the steps are going to look like this to clean up your noise floor. The first is remove any kind of environmental noise first. Next, you're going to treat your space better. More blankets, more acoustic panels, doors, all the things that you need to do to keep outside noise out. The next is set proper gain levels, and I mentioned that earlier, between -12, -9 dB in your normal speaking voice. If you still have noise floor issues and you're still above that -60 limit, then it's time to apply some light cleanup using either a third-party plugin or a denoise feature built into your DAW. So if you understand this process and what noise floor is and how to figure it out, it's going to make your recording sound so much more professional. And of course, audio quality is one of the three legs of the three-legged stool that I mention on here in VoiceOver. So we're going to go into that much deeper on that Tuesday night webinar at 6 p.m. Pacific. So again, the link is down below. You can sign up for free. You'll get a copy of the book just for showing up, and I'll see you there. Well, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. If you like this kind of content about VO, then hit that like and subscribe and notification bell. That is the best way to help us on our little channel here. And if you have any questions or comments, I read all the comments and reply to them. And I mentioned Adobe Audition earlier, which is my preferred recording software. And I did a whole video on how to basically use Adobe Audition to record your voiceovers. And if you want to watch that video and learn a little bit more about AA, then check it out right there.